analyses will just create that interaction term for us. And so what we'll do is we'll take our continuous predictor, natural log of our continuous predictor, and then just plug that into a preliminary model where we have our continuous predictor predicting in our logistic model, the natural log in our logistic model, and the interaction of those two in the logistic model, and making sure that interaction term doesn't come up as statistically reliable. Other questions? All right, cool. Where are we at in terms of? All right. This would usually be our halfway point. People need to take a break or use the restroom or anything like that? Catch a breather, grab another piece of pizza or anything?
I can use the bathroom.
Okay, go for it.
You can keep going. Are you done?
No.
Do they have Arizona downstairs?
Yeah, in the vending machine.
Do they have the regular kind?
This is as regular as it gets.
What is it?
Green tea with ginseng.
They, they don't have the lemon?
That's my version.
Oh, pizza all of them. Good weekend?
What's up?
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, we're trying to get ready to get things squared away and packed up and and so we can get on the road, so.
Oh, so you probably leave Wednesday? Nice.
Almost walked by the room.
What's up?
Almost walked by the room.
I did that
It's like,
when I
wait.
was walking, actually.
I'm here already.
I was trying to make sure I can get in here. Check my ID. Didn't work. But I used it as a window scraper quite a bit, so I thought maybe that was part of the reason. So I borrowed Ryan's and got in, but I was looking, it looks like my university ID expired in 2015. so that could also be part of why I'm not being able to get into anything like that.
Probably.
Awesome. just looking at some data that I gathered, and I have this one outlier that is bastardizing my data so much that it goes from a significance of 0.06 to 0.14 when I remove them. I'm like, you
How big is your sample?
asshole. 129 without.
Yeah.
Because they just went through on MTurk and was like 5, 5, 5, 5,
Yeah.
0, 5, 0, 0, 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, you never in the middle, huh?
Do you have attention checks on there?
I do, and
Didn't do any good?
that's the thing is I was able to eliminate quite a few people, but not this guy.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, someone slipped through.
Well, he is not multivariate normal, so get him out of there.
Exactly. Yeah, because I was like, oh, I'm approaching significance. Yada yada. And I was like, wait a second.
This sounds too good to be true.
Hmm?
No, actually, it was too bad to be true.
Too bad to be true.
To not be true. So, yeah. The weird thing, though, is it's as I was saying before, is that with this population, it's claimed that's significant versus the student population is behavioral.
That's gonna be interesting to see if that holds up.
I forget how much food gets stuck into your fingernails when you have long nails. So I eat with my hands. Oh, I was blessed with 15.
You never had braces?
Me, no.
Wow.
Very lucky with that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, but my little sister, not so much.
Mine were just okay enough that my dad wouldn't pay for braces. Because he said, they're just cosmetic, you're being silly. But just bad enough that I'm paying for them now because most of you did.
Yeah. Leslie's dad was a dentist, so
Oh.
she got
So
braces.
it's like really
Cool. All right. Let's, open up this data set here and grab your handout, binary logistic regression. So what we're going to run through an example here, some data that Narina donated. So even when we get out of clinical area, we still have to deal with death and horror. So we like to keep that general theme going in terms of the sets that
That's
we're using.
BIS stuff.
Right? And so what we've got here are people who were defendants who were convicted either to life in prison or death. We see this in our sentence variable. The number of VIS, what we're looking at is sort of this depravity score, which I'm not sure what the operationalization of depravity is, but they've done it and put it on a 0-100 scale, indicating sort of the depravity of this crime. And then also looking at the impact of victim impact statements introduced by the prosecution, right? So these are the survivors, victim friends and family talking about sort of what the impact is on this has been to them and how their lives have changed and things along those lines. And also within here, looking at how this victim impact statement was delivered. 0 being none, there was no victim impact statement. 1 is private. What is this, Stephanie, do you know what private refers to? Is that just with a judge or?
Honestly, I don't know. I was nodding my head because I think they're terrible. But,
Okay.
I think they wrote it in private and then read it. Q&A was a question and answer format where the attorney went back and forth. And open was an open dialogue where they just said it on the stand.
And so some different ways of providing an impact statement to talk about the impact that whatever this person was charged with had on the friends, family members. And so wanted to say whether or not these variables the number of victim impact statements, how many people are coming to bear for you, the depravity of the crime, and then how those victim impact statements were delivered impact whether or not people were sentenced to life in prison or death penalty. Okay, and so what we're looking at is a dichotomous outcome with three predictors here. Two continuous, or one's variables that we'll treat as continuous, and then one that's a categorical variable. Okay? So what we're going to do first, I'm going to start sorting these, make sure we don't have any missing data. Okay, so those are all looking good. And so what we're going to do now, we go analyze descriptives, and just take a look at number of impact statements, depravity score, and we'll ask, and so we will still need to do this, even though these aren't sort of your distribution of your variables aren't a predictor per se, or an assumption per se. You still want to go through and know kind of what your data are looking like, okay? So we'll go through, take a look at that. And so it looks like we've got anywhere from 0 to 14 impact statements, right, that are going on, and then depravity scores ranging from 2 to 73. The kurtosis of our victim impact statements is pretty fantastically high, right? Both of these are skewed. If we go through and we want to take a look at our, go to explore, we look at number, and depravity score, and want to, there's a histogram. Yikes, right? We've got kind of a,
And there's an outlier.
an outlier there that we probably want to address.
No, the data's perfect.
That we will probably want to address, right? And then same thing, depravity score looks pretty nuts. So we're kind of in a situation here. I don't think that I. Okay, so for this exercise, I didn't do anything with these data, but reasonably, this case here, someone got in over twice the number of impact statements as the next highest. That's an odd thing. We don't have distributional assumptions, and so it's fine if our data are skewed and kurtotic. But that's probably an outlier, right? And so we would probably want to maybe do something to address that. Think about excluding that case probably. I mean, you could smooth it in, but there's just something that, we've got 123 cases. We can lose one case. I'm not, this isn't my field, but it seems something that's maybe odd for someone to have 14. Other thing I would want to do is go through and make sure this wasn't an error in the data entry, that it wasn't supposed to be 4 and someone actually keyed in 14. Go back through, take a look at your data, make sure that this is a case and if it a valid entry, and if it is, maybe think about excluding that because it looks like it's not generally representative of what else is going on, right? Going down and taking a look at our depravity scores. This is also, we have some this is some pretty extreme values, right? Now this would be if you were, this was your data and wanting to think about like what is the best way to deal with this? Do I drop this case? I don't know. What would be nice is if this depravity score is also the person that had 14 people in there. Then we fixed that already, right? But again, this is going to constitute probably outliers that you want to probably think about doing something. If it was just these ones, I can probably live with those. That's a little much, right? So wanting to go through, if you're actually doing your screening, wanting to note these, go through, take a look, and then talk about if it was your data set, what you would want to do with these data. Okay? So what we'll do though is we'll leave it alone for the purposes of this, right?
It's not either.
What's that?
It's not the 14.
Well,
No, he only has one.
Yeah, he must have done something real bad. Or she, they.
The delivery was open, so maybe
The 14 statements? Yeah, they only had an 11 on the depravity.
I know.
people being dramatic.
It wasn't very depraved, but there were just a lot of people
We just all
around.
wanted to tell you about.
Maybe it was like a public
Uh-huh.
thing, where there were a lot of, well, I guess.
All right, so I'm going to go through and paste these in. Compute. Call this sync that. Okay, so just going through here, and we'll pretend, and we shouldn't, but we'll pretend that our data are fine and we can move forward, right? Which is often your task with our data sets, just so everybody's on the same board, right? But we'll go through and calculate our centered scores, and then go up and just double check, make sure that we've reasonably centered these. Statistics are 0 here, so we're pretty excited about that. We've done this correctly. Okay. So we've gone through taking a look in terms of our assumptions. We would probably note that our data are not likely univariate or are not multivariate normal, given that we've got some weird distributions. We've identified some pretty clear outliers that we probably want to take note of, right, and recommend that someone do something with that. But we're going to go through and just deal with it and go through and center what we do have. What we want to do now, I'm going to go to descriptives, I'm going to go to crosstabs, and I'm going to look at my sentence variable, my VIS delivery. I'm going to go to statistics, cells. I want expected, click expected values there, hit continue, paste that in. All right, I'm going to run crosstabs of my continuous or my categorical predictor VIS.
Can you zoom in, Josh? Is that an option? No, I just want to make sure, my eyes are terrible. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
Well, you've got your, you
Yeah,
can take a look
yeah.
at your thing there. But yeah, I don't know if we can
It's fine, it's fine.
get these in. But, so what we've got here and then is our cross tabulation of our